I've been getting requests for a video on how I make my videos, so this will be the first one of those. This is my new Mobius Pro Mini Cam and equally new servo tape I bought for mounting it. If you're thinking that servo tape isn't going to secure that cam through all the things that a RC car can go through, I was thinking the same thing. I wanted some footage with the camera mounted on the side of the car so you could see the wheel, so I printed up this little mount. It's nothing fancy, just gives me a lot of surface area for the tape. Anywhere I mount the camera, I make sure to clean the surface with some alcohol just to give the tape the best chance of sticking. You kind of have to guess on what the best position for the camera is going to be, but you can see in the video that follows that it worked out pretty good. I wanted to mount the camera last so I could be sure that it's up against the side of the body. There's no science here, just a little eyeballing and confidence in the field of view from this camera. I noticed that the side of the body's loose and could flap around some while I'm driving. So I broke out my high-tech gappers tape and secured the body to the chassis for while we're filming. Now I'm as confident as the next guy about the Mobius camera itself and the idea of sticking it on the side of an RC car. I know not everybody's into this kind of video work, and now the young guys are all saying, yeah sure, hit something, and I probably will. But I gotta tell you, this kind of footage sends me to my happy place. I was also shocked to see how the wheel is pushed to the outside of the tire and the treads rolled under. Years ago, we put tire cameras on a super dirt late model, and the distortion of the tire and the turns is almost identical to this. I was also shocked to see how active the suspension is and how stable the body and camera is. I slowed this part of the video down to about 50% of normal speed, so you get a better idea of what the suspension is doing. Seeing this video and my own experience with this car and seeing how it responds to chassis changes really makes me think that these people got these cars figured out. This is my Team Associated 10-scale Rat Rod trophy truck. One of the goals with shooting this video is to see what happens to that camera when things don't go as planned. The servo tape and my fancy Dan mount are both handling the bouncing around and when you run off into the woods a little bit here. So it handles that well. Just a couple laps later we really stress test my mount. This always seems to happen when I least expect it, both with RC cars and in real life. It seems like if this car bounces just right in the middle of a turn with some speed, the outside wheels can grab and you wind up on your head. And notice the camera is still in place and still recording just fine. Rolling over is one test, but whacking something at speed is the real test of that servo tape and my mount. It turns out the servo tape, the mount, and the camera are all tougher than that. In this clip, I servo taped the camera to the hood of the Rat Rod. I did put it on the driver's side of the hood for trying to get a better perspective. And we got a good one. Everybody that's rolled a real car will tell you that's pretty much what it looks like. There's one obstacle in my backyard that I always tend to hit at speed, and that's the real test of how strong anything is in the whole car. The best way for me to hit something like this at speed is to get really confident that I'm going to miss it, so I just keep the throttle down. I was pretty sure that if I hit that block at speed that I was going to be out there looking for my camera. I actually hit this about 3 times while I was doing this filming. All of the hits were at speed, and none of the hits did anything to the camera or the car. Like I said, the folks at Associated got this car figured out. After shooting the video, we processed it in Adobe Premiere Pro to get rid of all the dead stuff, make whatever edits we need to. But with a good camera like the Mobius, I'm not doing anything to the video other cutting it down for time. Once you learn how to use the right stuff, making a decent video is pretty easy.